guilty of something.
Saying a woman should only be seen and not to be heard is violence against women.
I'm a woman with heart.
Women are a vital part of our existence, the mothers of our children, our support. Hence, they deserve to live full lives, 100%.
Tune in every Tuesday by 11 a.m.
on Royal FM 95.1 for the program 100% Women, 100% Women, celebrating women.
I'm a woman with.
Oh, you make me feel so good, so refreshing. I feel young again when you talk to me. I feel excited, reinvigorated. I'm alive, awakened. Oh, I love you, mi preciosa. Te amo, mi una. Te quiero.
Me too, señorita. I love you too.
Oh, not you. I talk about my radio station, my preciosa Royal FM 95.1. Oh, you? Nah.
On Royal FM, it's not just radio. It's an emotional connection.
At last.
Over 50 years since Nigeria's independence, the country is yet to have a female governor.
We have entertainment, TV and channels, so why not one for women that are more than half the world population, doing so much for survival of the world?
We teach girls shave, close your legs, cover yourself. We make them feel as though by being born female, they're already guilty of something.
Saying a woman should only be seen and not to be heard is violence against women.
I'm a woman with heart.
Women are a vital part of our existence, the mothers of our children, our support. Hence, they deserve to live full lives, 100%.
Tune in every Tuesday by 11 a.m.
on Royal FM 95.1 for the program 100% Women, 100% Women, celebrating women.
I'm a woman with.
Good morning to you. It's 4 minutes past 11. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, and I want to welcome you once again to 100% Woman. I am Timi Tokwe Oluleye. As you know, this program is just for women. It is a program that aims to give women a voice in the community, in the society, globally, in the world at large. And so today is one of our special episode from our monthly series called The Business Savvy Woman, where we get to highlight business women that are really excelling in the business space. And today I'll be having an interview with a very dynamic, very talented businesswoman. She is the Creative Director, of course, the CEO of Eltees Cake Affairs, based here in Ilorin. Her name is Mrs. Taiwo. But before that, I want to share some very key facts with the fact that female entrepreneurship is really making an impact globally. Women entrepreneurship rates increased by double between the years of 2015 to 2016 globally. And the economic impact of increased female entrepreneurial participation is significant and holds the potential to continue to be a major driver of economic growth. A lot of women have started businesses. They have a lot of employees. And if not because of them starting their own businesses and them employing people, those people will be practically without jobs. So it is very key. Female business women do a lot when it comes to the economic growth of the country and the world at large. A recent study conducted by Development Economics on behalf of Facebook shows that businesses set up by women in Nigeria over the next 5 years will bring in 19.7 billion naira into the Nigerian economy. and create 8.9 million jobs. And like I told you, I have one of those great women in the studio with me this morning, and I'm going to be having an interview with her. We're going to be basically going into her journey as a businesswoman from inception till date. Okay, so I have the pleasure of introducing to you Mrs. Taiwo. She is the creative director of Eltees Cake Affairs, based here in Ilorin, Kwara State. I tell you, her cakes are amazing, and I'm just not saying it because I'm just saying it. It is because I have seen her cakes, and they are just beautiful. Good morning. I want to welcome you to the program today.
Good morning, Tokwe.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here this morning.
All right. Okay. So we're going to be having a very, very interesting conversation about her business, how she started, where she is now with her business, and her plans for the future with her business. So tell me about your company.
Okay. Eltees Cake Affairs started about 10 years ago.
Okay.
I actually started it as a hobby. I didn't outrightly go into the business part of it. At the time, I had a full-time job, and I had very little kids. And when I lost my first job, I just thought of what to do with the money I'd been paid. I had bought a book.
What were you doing? What job were you into?
I worked with a marine servicing company. I actually studied engineering, so...
Are you serious?
But I never really, went deep into practice.
Wow,
okay?
That's interesting. Yeah, okay.
At the time I lost my job, I had gone shopping with my husband. He went to, he's a lover of books. So we had gone to pick some books, and then I saw this book on cakes. It had about 1,000 recipes in it. I think I picked the book because of the colors and all that. I just wanted to go through. Not that I really, really wanted to practice every recipe that was in it. And then I got the challenge from my husband. You picked this book, you have to bake me a cake. So I didn't have any formal training at the time, nothing. So I just experimented something, and it worked out. So when I got paid after I lost my first job, I decided I was going to now go fully for a proper training, and the rest is history.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so that practically made you decide to... Now, what made you really, from being a hobby, you now transitioned into making a business? What gave you, what motivated you into doing that from it being a hobby into now growing into a full-scale business? Was it as a result of the fact that you got unemployed, or what was that key thing that made you decide, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and just do this as a business?
I think initially I was unemployed for about eight months.
Okay.
And, sometimes when you look through this thing, life is a game of numbers. Now, you just want to make more money. And you look at it, everybody makes cakes. I mean, there's no party, no birthday, no major celebrations, so to speak, that they don't get to have, even if it's cupcakes. People even do tea parties and they just get, just give me cupcakes, blah, blah, blah. And you're wondering, I can make money from this thing. It might not be as much, but you're making some money. So that's another source of income for you. And then gradually went on like that. After I had my third child, I had stopped work at the time, and I just decided, okay, maybe I should just focus fully on the business side of it. I now started making more cakes, adding more money, getting my jobs, to be better, and we're here today.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so you told me you've been doing this business for about 10 years?
Full-time, yes. About 6 years.
Okay. 6 years full-time. 6 years, wow.
Yeah.
All right, so, most especially in Nigeria, there's this thing that I coined, and I call it the photocopy syndrome. And it's really, really, it's a syndrome that really happens in Nigeria. People do, especially businesses, when they see a particular business booming, or where they see someone doing a business. For example, now when the pure water business came out, before you know it, everyone was doing the pure water business. Even till now, a lot of people. Now, a lot of people seem to want to cash in when they see a particular business booming. And that brings me to say that a lot of people are into the cake making business. So how do you, out of all the sea of cake makers, how do you make yourself stand out in the Nigerian business space?
I always say to people that you must have a passion for what you do because that's what keeps you going. Now, if you just jumped into the business because you felt, it's just money, especially in the cake business, there are certain businesses you can go into, not because you have a passion for it, but you know that it's a money-spinning venture. But something like cake making, beyond it being a money spinner for the individual, you've got to have the passion, because without the passion, that time we work very long hours, the times the cake is not coming out just the way you want it to come out. But then it's that passion you have that will keep you going, and you're like, okay, I'm not stopping until I'm done, and I must get it, done properly. You make sure what you have is what you're churning out is what you can pay for. I have times I've done cakes for people, and I've seen that, look, if I was to be sold this cake, I wouldn't pay for it, and I'll probably have to do something else. I'll start afresh, because every cake is a selling point for you. My most clients have come through referrals. So if I say I make a cake for you, you like it, you tell someone about it. And that way, I've been able to move on. And then another thing I've also tried to do is make sure the quality of my cakes match up with the covering. Because sometimes some cakes are beautiful
on the outside,
and on the inside they are not edible. Not edible in the sense that, not that they used dummies to cover, they covered dummies,
yes,
but the quality of the cakes aren't just right. And of course that kind of client probably won't come back to you again, because they would look at it, okay, I only want her cake just for my pictures, because the cakes, would come out very nice in photographs. But my goal was, even people who don't want covered cakes, decorated cakes, would still go for plain cakes. I still have a lot of clients who they don't have an occasion, but they just feel like eating cakes. So they just call you up, can I have a plain cake? And all that. Now, if the quality of the cake isn't right, they wouldn't come back. So I've always worked on my quality, and I'm still working on it. I'm not there yet, but I know I'm somewhere now at a particular level, and I'm moving further.
Okay, great. All right, we have to go for a commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue on with Mrs. Taiwo, the creative director of Eltees Cake Affairs. Please stay tuned.
Charlie, chop past chop. Golden penny semovita. Now my secret of healthy living. Because why? Now the chop for the people with sabi quality. If they go jam for throat with any kind of Nigerian soup.
Chai, golden penny semovita. Now you correct people they chop every time, because you get plenty fiber and they digest well.
Yes, Mama Charlie. Now the secret of healthy living.
Darling, I don't serve better chop for you now.
You be correct, woman. Golden penny semovita. Now my secret of healthy living.
Okay, welcome back. The program you're listening to right now is 100% Woman, and I am Temitope Oluleye on Real FM 95.1 Ilorin. Now, we've been discussing with the creative director of Eltees Cake Affairs, and this is one of the episodes out of the monthly series that we hold on this program. It's called the Business Savvy Women, or Woman, where we get to interview business women who are really doing well and excelling in their line of business. And so we will continue with the line of questioning, and let's move ahead. All right, so we've gone through how you started your business, and so far we all know that entrepreneurship is riddled with challenges. So how do you cope with those challenges, and how do you deal with those obstacles that come your way?
Oh, well, you take them as they come, tackle one at a time, especially when you want to, expand your business. Because presently we are in the phase where we want to introduce other things into the business. So we're not just going to be doing only cakes. We're going to be doing a whole lot more beyond cakes, you know. And sometimes you realize for a cake can always pay for itself. But then when you want to now expand, you probably need more funds. So that's more work. If you're not going to take facilities anywhere, depending on how big you want to take the business, you'd probably have to, walk around getting the funds to move the business, to the scale you want it to get to.
Okay. And so when it comes to your pricing, do you have that, because I know some entrepreneurs who have that problem with pricing. They might get intimidated. Okay, if I put this particular value, I know what I'm putting out has a lot of value. What I'm putting out is high quality. And of course, I know I want to set the bar at this. I want to price my goods at this rate. But then again, you have some other cake makers that are pricing their goods at a lower rate. But I know that the amount of time I'm putting in and the quality I'm putting out, I want my price to be a bit higher. Do you feel intimidated at all when it comes to pricing, or do you feel you need to adjust your price to, the amounts that other cake makers price their products?
Okay, in all honesty,
yes.
Earlier on, I used to feel, intimidated.
Okay.
But over time, I had to sit down and ask myself a couple of questions. What's my worth? Now, if you know what your worth is, and you know what you're even giving the person, then you're able to price right. And I've always, believed that, I might not be able to service everybody. I try as much as possible to, to work with people's budgets. So like now you want a cake. Most times my first question to you, after I've asked you what type of cake and all that, is what's your budget? Your budget will determine how big a cake you get, but it won't determine the quality of cake you get. It would only determine the size. That's where I'm concerned, But then again, sometimes you give the average Ilorin mindset. The Ilorin person will tell you, oh, I want something really big. But then their budget can't accommodate that really big thing they want. So what I try to do is encourage them to go for something smaller, but for the same quality. And then we sometimes do discounts, like for some very regular clients, we work out discounts for them, because there are some people who come to us over and over and over again within a month, sometimes in a week. There are some clients that probably will come to us 2-3 times. So, for such clients, you try to walk around servicing them properly. You probably need to give discounts to encourage them.
Now, you did start your cake making business in Lagos, right? Or did you?
Yeah.
Part-time. Now, do you think that the mentality of customers change according to the location? Because you're talking about the Ilorin mindset. Do you think the mentality of customers when it comes to approaching your business for services, do you think it changes according to the location that if you are? For example, do you think Lagos, the mindset of Lagos customers is different from the mindset of Ilorin customers? Or
absolutely.
How does it vary?
I think sometimes people don't know the value. I would think maybe because of our differences, Lagos is a more exposed city. Not to say we don't have people that are exposed in Ilorin.
Yes.
We have people who know what they want here as well, but then they don't want to pay for it. And then that way, if you're not willing to pay for what you want at the price, at the price the service person is offering it to you, then you probably won't get what you want. For example, assuming I make a cake in Ilorin for 10,000, that cake could probably sell for way more than that in Lagos. That's just the way it is. It will sell for way more than that. I think sometimes some people don't even appreciate what is being done. That's why they get to try to reduce the price. Because I realize that sometimes some people might just come to me, oh, how much can I get this? How much is this? And I tell them the price. They might leave you just because you didn't give them 100 naira discount. They get 100 naira discount from the next person, just 100 naira discount.
Just 100 naira.
As little as that, they can actually walk away. Sometimes they don't factor in other things. They probably will just factor the major things they think are the ingredients. You hear things like, is it not just flour and sugar? I'm sorry, you can't tell a tailor that is it not just needle and thread? There are other things that go into it.
Yes.
There's the brain
and your
work.
creativity too.
Yes.
Your own personal creativity goes into it. Yes.
All those things go into it. Sometimes we don't even, sometimes I think we don't even we forget to do our costing right. Because you're charging for a cake. You forget that, okay, you're using maybe a teaspoon of maybe flavor. You don't even remember to put the cost of a teaspoon of flavor. But at the end of the day, it costs money to get that flavor into the cake. You forget to put a price for power supply. If there's no power, you'll be running your gen. So there's fuel. So those are all the things that come into play. But people don't see it that way. They see it differently. And they just want, I want to do this. I mean, I recently had a client who wanted to do a cake. And look, I had to go through the Instagram page of the person whose cake she sent to me. And it wasn't a small baker, a major baker in the country. And for the price she was asking to pay, I said I couldn't do it. I now told her, okay, why don't you just do something smaller? A few days later, I did a follow-up and she said she wasn't even going to have a cake at all. So, that kind, it's
because of the price you were asking for.
And I wasn't asking for too much. Well, too much is relative. But I knew I wasn't asking for too much because it was a close person to me and I just thought maybe just do something to help them out. But hey, they just said it was too much and they were not willing to pay for it. And I said, that's fine, no problem.
So in spite of all this, how do you still make your business thrive in spite of these kinds of challenges with some customers that may just want to just leave because of a 100 naira difference or this or that? Happens once in a while, but how do you still make your business thrive regardless of all those little challenges or obstacles? Yeah,
I think a major thing is customer service.
Okay.
If your customer service is right, your clients will come. There are some places I go to. I don't go there because they're so fantastic, but I think their customer service is awesome, and I go there because I know that they'll treat me right.
Now, that brings me to the question, what do you think the state of customer service is in Nigeria? Do you think businesses are really treating the customers right? Do you think we have a great customer service generally in Nigeria, or do you think we still have a lot of work to do?
I think we still have a lot of work to do. We are not where we used to be, but there's more. Sometimes service providers feel they're doing you a favor. They fail to put themselves in your shoes. And, so for me, what I do, I always help where I can. If I go somewhere, probably an eatery, and I think I wasn't attended to right, I'll ask for your supervisor. I'll complain. But sometimes people feel, I don't have a right to complain. I don't think it's right. You should be able, if you have an issue with a service, you should be able to complain.
Because you want value for your money.
Exactly.
Yes.
Same way. Sometimes I tell my clients, I need feedbacks. We write on feedbacks. You give me a negative feedback. I won't fight you for that negative feedback. I'll go back, sit down and ask myself questions. Where did I miss it? Okay, why is she complaining that she didn't like this? What can I do to improve on my service? I mean, when we get feedbacks, it helps our businesses grow. We're able to, that's for those who would go back to those feedbacks. Because sometimes you go to places, there are suggestion boxes. I doubt if they even open the suggestion boxes because when you go back to those same places, you still face the same problems. And then again, sometimes we also need to groom our staff to be able to relate to clients properly. Because some staff have no clue on how to talk to clients. You just come, they snap at you, they're angry, they're screaming and all that, and you're wondering why.
Now, you do have some employees under you, right? How do you decide, or when you go through the interview process, how do you get to know, okay, this person will be a good employee, or maybe I shouldn't? Because maybe some business owners might have that problem, not being able to know the key things to look at when you're trying to hire a person. So how do you know, okay, this would be a good fit for my company? And how, when you were talking about training, you do train your staff on a regular basis on how to treat customers and all that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because sometimes I'm not there. the client comes. In fact, there was a day I was out and there was this man who came in and, he just kept on screaming. He actually came in to order a cake. But, he was just ordering them around and all that and all that. By the time the man left, I got back in shortly after he left and they were like, someone came, see what happened. And my first question to them was, what was your response? They said they just kept quiet and they were looking at the man.
Okay.
And then I asked, did you take his number? And they were like, yes, they took his number. And the first thing I did when I came, I called the man. And he was like, okay, he's on his way back to the place. He came, we had our little chat, we sealed the deal. I'm very sure if those, girls were not nice to him, if they had been rude to him, the first thing he would do at the time I called was complain. So it's always, I think it's always good from time to time. We just let our staff know. Even when they mess up, and you notice, they messed up in this area, you call them aside and you let them know this is what you did wrong. Next time, you don't talk to a client this way. Next time, you don't do this. And you get the staff to apologize to the clients. Okay. Sometimes we don't do that.
Oh, all right, so let's move ahead. What advice would you give to other entrepreneurs hoping to follow in your footsteps? Maybe there's a woman listening right now, and she also wants to get into the cake making business or in the baking business. What advice would you offer to such a person, a woman?
I think not necessarily cake business, but business generally. I think you need to have a passion for it.
Okay.
Sometimes businesses don't yield the funds immediately, so you require a lot of patience. I remember when I first came into Ilorin, I came into Ilorin knowing only my husband. I didn't know any other person in town. I've been here for 6 years, and now my clientele has grown. We are building our brand. I remember my first Valentine cake I did here, which was about a few months after I came into town. I had only one order, and it was 1,500 naira.
Wow.
I can't forget. I always tell people that I can't forget it, but I just kept on at it. And by the following year, when I took my Valentine orders, I didn't sleep. I mean, I worked round the clock. It was overwhelming. Everywhere in my house was cake. So it was just a matter of time. So I always tell people, give time, but be consistent and be patient. And then everything will fall into place.
Now, a lot of businesses, when they start up, things are going fine. Before you know it, they've closed down. So I know there's a sort of period of time where you get discouraged and you feel like you want to quit. At those critical times, and I'm sure there are points where you wanted to just, okay, let me just throw in a towel and just forget about this. What kept you going?
My passion. My passion. I think cake is just one of the few things that I can be woken up to do in the middle of the night. I can sacrifice my sleep for it.
Wow.
I mean, and I'll be doing it happily. It's just a passion. From the passion has kept me going. Sometimes you just, you don't want to do this anymore. And then, hey, you now get one good review that gingers you and you're up and, you're up and running again. So I think for me, it's just a passion.
Okay.
A passion, yeah, my passion is now bringing money in. So
that's great. You're doing what you love and getting paid for it.
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll go for another commercial break. We'll be right back after this. Please stay tuned.
Mama Charlie, chop pass chop. Golden penny semovita. Now my secret of healthy living. Because why? Now the chop for the people with sabi quality. If they go viam for throat with any kind of Nigerian soup.
Chai, golden penny semovita. Now you correct people they chop every time because it get plenty fiber and it digest well.
Yes, oh Mama Charlie. Now the secret of healthy living.
Darling, I don't serve better chop for you now.
You be correct woman. Golden penny semovita. Now my secret of healthy living.
Over 50 years since Nigeria's independence, the country is yet to have a female governor.
We have entertainment, TV and channels, so why not one for women that are more than half the world population, doing so much for survival of the world?
We teach girls shame. Close your legs, cover yourself. We make them feel as though by being born female, they're already guilty of something.
Saying a woman should only be seen and not to be heard is violence against women.
I'm a woman with a heart.
Women are a vital part of our existence, the mothers of our children, our support. Hence, they deserve to live full lives, 100%.
Tune in every Tuesday by 11 a.m.
on Royal FM 95.1 for the program 100% Women, 100% Women, celebrating women.
I'm a woman with
You're welcome back once again to 100% Woman, Real FM 95.1 Ilorin. And I am Temitope Oluleye. We've been interviewing a very, very talented businesswoman, Mrs. Taiwo, the creative director of Eltees Cake Affairs. And we've been having, a good time having a discussion about her business journey so far. And so more questions to ask her. Now, when it comes to social media, how powerful and how important do you think it is for businesses to go on social media? And how well has social media worked for you?
Oh, well, I had to train myself on the social media aspect.
Okay.
Because I remember when I first went on Instagram, I didn't even know what it was all about, but I just said, everyone was talking about Instagram, and okay, let's just be posting the pictures on Instagram. I was just posting the pictures and with no hashtags.
Okay.
So I probably was not even reaching a lot of people.
Okay.
Until I now started with my hashtags, and then sometimes, I get to promote. People make inquiries.
Do you get clients? Have you ever gotten clients from social media?
I think I never really asked them where they, got my, sometimes, just a few people that have told me, I saw your contact online.
Okay.
But beyond that, but social media is very good.
Okay.
It really exposes businesses. I have friends who are into business as well here in Ilorin, and sometimes they sell more to people outside Ilorin because of social media. So they're able to reach out more and all that. Social media, in this age, we can't but help, promote our businesses via social media. It's the fastest means. Fastest means after word of mouth, of course.
Okay. All right. And let me move on to this question. What are your thoughts about the Nigerian business terrain? Do you think it's challenging or conducive for business owners?
Well, I think in some cases, it could be challenging. It could be. Sometimes you have some industries where you have people that are like the cabal in that industry, and new entrants can't, make a head.
And when it comes to, I know there are a lot of associations when it comes to different businesses. Yeah. Do you have an association when it comes to bakers or?
Well, there are a couple of associations, but there's the one I belong to here in Ilorin is the Sugar Benders of Kwara State.
Okay.
Yeah, we're a couple of bakers. We just come together. I think it was better from the fact that people at the time when they had events in Ilorin, they would probably get their cakes from outside Ilorin and all that, and we needed to make our presence known.
Okay.
And so that gave rise to the Sugar Benders of Kwara State.
Okay.
And yeah, we are quite a number of us there, and we are making progress. The rate at which alien cakes come into town has reduced.
Alien cakes.
It has reduced.
Okay.
People know that, yes, we have some good cake makers in Ilorin. So when they want a cake in Ilorin, they will just come in, and see that.
And I tell you, including yours, I've seen a lot of amazing cakes in Ilorin, and I'm blown away. You think seriously in Ilorin, but they are very,
we are working very hard at it. We're working to get better, And I'm telling you, in a short while, people would actually put Ilorin on the cake map.
Great.
Ilorin bakers are going to be on the cake map of
Yes,
Nigeria.
definitely. And so your wife, your mom, you're also a business owner. How do you juggle all that? Because motherhood is very challenging on its own. How do you juggle the three together? How do you do it?
It's fresh grace every day.
Wow, okay.
It's fresh grace every day. I used to bake from home, previously, and I realized even while I was working at home, I was useless to everyone at home because I worked long hours. I'll probably wake up maybe at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., start working, and it's while I'm working, I'm trying to get the kids ready for school. Once they're ready for school, I'm off to drop them at school, come back, continue work. It's time to go pick them from school. I just go, pick them, come back. It was like a rat race, a major one. And I didn't have a life. I just realized I didn't have a life. I had to come to a point where even when my husband is around, he just comes in from work, I'll just offer him food, go back to the kitchen and continue working. I probably won't go to bed until maybe 2 a.m. And, it started taking a toll on me. If I had major jobs, like, say, several jobs in 1 week, including wedding cakes, I would break down at the end of the week. And we noticed it was like something that was always happening. And then I had to take it slow. I gradually moved out of the house, got a place, and I have my opening hours. There are certain times you come there, you won't meet me. If you come to my place maybe by, say, 8 a.m., you will meet me there. But probably if you come after 4 p.m., you might not meet me. And I had to do that because I had people who knew, because I worked from home, they would always call. I wouldn't sleep. You call me at night, you need a cake in the morning, I'll jump up and I will start working. So I needed to separate that. So now when I'm home, my children know I'm home. I have time for them. I have time for everybody. If my husband is home, I have time for my husband. I'm able to, manage everybody at the same time while I'm home. At least I'm not baking at home. So, hey, mommy is home.
So it's important to separate your personal life from your business life.
Absolutely, because sometimes...
And take time off to rest.
Oh, I do that. I remember at the beginning of the year, we worked until the 30th of December last year. For the first 2 weeks of this year, I didn't work. Everyone who called me, I told them I was on holiday. I was in Ilorin. I didn't travel. But I needed to rest, and I knew I needed to rest. Otherwise we just keep breaking down. The problem with a lot of us who do a lot of physical jobs like this, we never get to rest. And then by the time we discover, it might be too late. So it's always better to be able to separate work so you're able to create time to rest. I told myself right now, I've scheduled vacation periods for myself. I need to be able to take a holiday. It doesn't mean out of the country, but off work. Totally off work. I wouldn't do anything within that period. Okay. Even if it's for a week, it's for 2 weeks, but you just need to rest.
Take time off to
rest. Yes.
Okay. What advice would you give to young women who want to succeed in business? What advice? What is that key advice you give to them?
Okay, there's this thing they say that women shouldn't, people have this thing of women shouldn't make money. But gone are the days when women will sit at home and be dependent on a man to supply everything they need. We are there as helpers. We need to be able to support our families. We need to be able to support our children as well. Because the truth is, there are some things my kids need. They probably won't go to their father. They will come straight to me and I will sort it out. Before if it's a major thing, I probably will have to run it by my husband. But probably if it's nothing major and I think it's okay, it's something he wouldn't mind, I'll probably go ahead and do it without saddling him with the little bills and all that. We don't need to sit down anymore. We need to come out. We need to work. We need to support. And I believe that when a woman has something doing, she's less problem. You're not a liability to anyone, Instead, you're more like an asset because they know, this person is there, this person can help out. So I think they should just, if you want to go into business, just know what you want to go into, read about it, understand it. If you need to go for a training for whatever it is, please do. So that when you come out, you don't come out doing shabby jobs. You don't come out just, any and anyhow. You're coming out as a major contender in that business you want to go into. And a major thing, you need to be focused. Because without focus, the business will just die just the same way it started. It will just die.
Okay, so how how do you keep up with, because there's always something new when it comes to cake making, generally, globally. How do you keep up with all those new skills or new what have you when it comes to cake making? Because there was always something new always.
Yeah, there's always
How do you keep up with it, being in Nigeria and you still want to keep up with, you want to be able to contend with those on a global stage when it comes to cake making? How do you keep up and how do you develop yourself in that area?
I watch a lot of videos.
Okay.
I watch a lot of videos online. I do. Presently, I'm even running a course now. It's an online course too.
Wow, okay.
So, we have to keep developing ourselves. You see a new skill, you don't understand it, you go learn it. I think that's just the way it is. For me, I always try as much as possible. Whatever is new, I just want to know what's trending now in the cake world. Okay, what's the latest technique? Okay, let's see, how can one achieve this? You need to keep changing this. Sometimes you might not even be the one that might want to do it, but the client just comes and brings something upon you and you just realize, wow, this is a new trend in this thing. Okay, let me go and read about it. A lot of times, sometimes I don't tell my clients, no, I can't do it. Sometimes I say, okay, we'll make it happen. And then I go back and I study about it. I practice and all that. And yeah, especially when I'm less busy. I remember when I had to move to Ilorin, when I didn't, I knew I had to up my game. I needed to develop a little more skill. I didn't even know how to do things like buttercream roses and some things. I had to go on one tutorial site. I had my piping bag and everything in my hand, and I was watching the video. I was practicing. People would come to my house and be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm fine." But I needed to just do something. I wanted to just help myself. So we shouldn't be lazy about it. Social media, is not just for pinging, chatting, talking about irrelevant things and abusing authority. I think there's a whole lot more. We have more information now at our fingertips than we've ever had. So at this point, we need to maximize social media to be able to.
Great.
Yeah.
And so where do you see your business in the next 5 years? Where do you see your business?
Well, in the next 5 years, I see my business way out of Ilorin. It's going to be more
branches, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We are working on some things now, and we want to just try and we'll use Ilorin to sample.
Okay.
And then branch off into other states.
All right. So your parting words before we end the interview.
My parting words.
Yes.
Stay focused.
Okay.
Be consistent. Don't give up on your dreams.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It's been a very, very insightful experience with you. And I'm sure those listening learned a lot about cake making or business generally. So thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Yes, I've been speaking to the creative director of Eltees Cake Affairs based here in Ilorin. Amazing cakes, stunning cakes, and it's been a pleasure having her on the program. So till next month, we'll have another episode on this series next month. It comes up on a monthly basis called The Business Savvy Woman. And so another one will come up next month. So thank you for listening. I am Temitope Oluleye. And Mrs. Taiwo, yes, her name is Mrs. Taiwo. I forgot to say that. Mrs. Taiwo. All right. Okay. So that is it for today on the program. Thank you so much for listening. And do join me next week, Tuesday at 11 a.m. for another interesting episode of 100% Woman. Have a great day.
Over 50 years since Nigeria's independence, the country is yet to have a female governor.
We have entertainment, TV and channels, so why not one for women that are more than half the world population, doing so much for survival of the world?
We teach girls shame. Close your legs, cover yourself. We make them feel as though by being born female, they're already guilty of something.
Saying a woman should only be seen and not to be heard is violence against women.
I'm a woman with heart.
Women are a vital part of our existence, the mothers of our children, our support. Hence, they deserve to live full lives, 100%.
Tune in every Tuesday by 11 a.m.
on Royal FM 95.1 for the program 100% Women, 100% Women, celebrating women.
I'm a woman with This is an OY production.
Mo lè lọ 30 rounds. Tí bá gbọ́ ọmọ Dubai, ó ṣe. Mo lè lọ 40 rounds. Tí bá gbọ́ ọmọ Papi, èèwà tí mo sọ 40 pounds. Tí bá gbé Yakari, kóòrè, mo lè lọ 60 rounds. Títí wá.
Ó yá jó bí ọba, má lọ jó bí ẹrú. Ébà jó bí ọba, má lọ jó bí ẹrú.
Ó ti gba dọ́là mi. Ó jẹ́ ṣàwámà mi. Ó tún gba arábà mi. Ó wàá fẹ́ lọ́mọ mi. Àwọn ọmọ ṣẹ̀gbẹ̀tẹ̀ rí. Ẹ lè wá kó bá mi. A ṣe lọ Miami. Maserati.
Sábà wọlé dé, ọmọ ọlọ́pẹ́ dé. Yọ bọ̀m̀bọ̀m bè wá, ìṣèbù máa yé.
Ìgbà gbọ́ ọmọ máa lè. Mo lè lọ 30 rounds. Ìgbà gbọ́ ọmọ Dubai, ó ṣe. Mo lè lọ 40 rounds. Ìgbà gbọ́ ọmọ Papi, èèwà tí mo sọ 40 pounds. Ìgbà gbé Yakari, kóòrè, mo lè lọ 60 rounds. Títí wá.
Ó yá jó bí ọba, má lọ jó bí ẹrú. Ébà jó bí ọba, má lọ jó bí ẹrú. Gbogbo owó mo kọpẹ́, èmi ọmọ ọlọ́pẹ́, kódù kò pọ̀. O bébí wa jẹ́ ká fún mayé, èkó ló wà má lọ sùn rẹ̀. Ó yá jó bí ọba, má lọ jó bí ẹrú. Ébà jó bí ọba, má lọ jó bí ẹrú.
Papa, and still like Gucci.
You know you can be prosecuted for that.
Èmi jọmọ $10, àbí ọmọ ṣínà bẹ̀là. Ó ní bá sọ $1. This is Nigeria, not Canada. After SSMS, make una fancy person. Another fear person, even if your papa na SMS. Above the 70 years, age over 30%. J1, what is your age? Mr. Libo, fellow who is here?
Education is important. Money is also important. It's not more important than education.
Wakanda. If you want to shackle, leg work, hand work, neck work, all right. Shackle. Oh yeah, if you want to shackle, leg work, hand work, neck work, all right. Shackle. Wakanda.
Ebi jẹjẹ ṣiṣẹ́ dáyọ̀ mọ̀ báyìí. Àṣọ́ọ̀tì ẹja ó ṣe wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí ẹ̀yà káì. Ẹ jẹ́ kó máa lọ lórí lókì àwọn ṣáàṣì ajá kan wá sí lókì. Ẹ ti lọ sọ ẹjọ́ yín kan fẹ́ pọ́ ẹ máa ń bá kó bá mi o. Ṣèbí náà yí tọ́ sí ọba kan jọ́nà jíbọ̀ yìí o. Ó ṣá mi o. Sọ pé tàn pa ń tọ́ ìrìnbọ̀ tẹ́ má náà pa iná pa. Ṣé wọ́n ló ń dá wọn lò? Àwọn ẹlẹ́nu mọ́ sákábàṣà tó kù ń gbọ́ ṣé na kọ́pà.
HRF Gabsi Gambo ayé òṣèlú.
Next word music.
This is a clear indication that this administration is doing quite well in the economy. Congratulations once again. Praise alone.
I am a money man in my country. Everybody know me well. You look me up and down. You go see my eye they keep. As a businessman, me I know they use money play. Businessman, me I know they use Okubo play. Businessmen, me and them they running the country. Businessmen, me and them they rule the country. My language, as you're speaking my language. If now how to make it the money, then you're passing the message. You see, money in everybody language. I'm putting better business, kaba. Teach me how to swim and teach you how to float. You know they call me only when you want to drink and smoke. See, every businessman you must remember God. You're making money, hands up in the air. I am the money man in my country. Money man, everybody know me well. You know me up and down. You go see, say I take you. As a businessman, me I know they use money play. Businessman, me I know they use Okubo play. Businessmen, and them they run the country. Businessmen, them know the money tricks for country. Put your hands up in the air if you know say you be businessman. Handkerchief for air if you know say you be businessman. If you know the talk money, me and you know that he businessman. You are just a useless man. You supposed to stay with woman, we go support your business plan. Baby, I'm still your lover boy. Yes, I don't join the clubs of Bonner Boys. Ask my friend, they call me Soldier Boy. Internationally, I'm a boo. Oh yeah, baby, malele. See your eye, they shoot for money, malele. I know you love the music, oh yeah, malele. As you see, oh malele, oh. And Mama tell me, say, no, they play with business, oh. Cause what they play with fine ladies, feet go spoil the business, oh. Yeah, cause I'd rather be a money man than to be a lover boy. And to be a money man, you must be a businessman. Oh yeah, Solomon Gandhi. 20 more bottles in the air. As a businessman, me I know they use money play. Businessman, me I know they use money play. Businessmen, now them they running the economy. Businessmen, them know the money tricks for country. Put your hands up in the air if you know say you be businessman. Handkerchief for air if you know say you be businessman. You know the talk money, me and you know that he business. Just a useless man. Suppose stay with woman, we go support your business plan. Businessmen, now them they running the economy. Businessmen, them know the money tricks for country. Put your hands up in the air if you know say you be businessman. Handkerchief for air if you know say you be businessman. You know the talk money, me and you know that he business. Just a useless man. Suppose stay with woman, we go support your business plan. Businessmen, now them they running the economy. Businessmen, them know the money tricks for country. Put your hands up in the air if you know say you be businessman. Handkerchief for air if you know say you be businessman. You know the talk money, me and you know that he business. Just a useless man. Suppose stay with woman, we go support your business plan.
FM 95.1. We set the pace. This is Royal FM News.
The time is 12 o'clock. Good afternoon, and thanks for staying with us on Royal 95.1. Here's the midday update. I am Bisola Oduwale Suleiman. First, the headlines. People's Democratic Party, PDP, says recent police protest confirms inactions of President Buhari-led administration. Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, reiterates commitment to organize credible election in Ekiti State. Kwara community clarifies issues surrounding construction of mobile police barracks. Varsity Dawn seeks more investment in education. On the foreign scene, divers plan way out for trapped boys found in Thailand cave. And in sport, Giwa assumes office as at NFF, preaches reconciliation. You're listening to Royal FM 95.1 Ilorin. You can also listen to us by visiting the Royal FM website, www.royalfm.net. The news continues after this time out.
Beautiful tonight.
Thanks.